Thank you guys. Great to see you. Beautiful day, right? Thank you for coming to Capitol Square. I want to thank my good friend Jim Rogers and Will Baker and all who are here associated with the CBF and associated with so many other great organizations who are doing what you can do to push the cause of clean water in Virginia and all throughout the Bay watershed. I want to introduce my Secretary of Natural Resources, Preston Bryant. He was here a minute ago. Where's Preston? There he is. Give Preston Bryant a big round of applause. Preston does a great job, and I've got others from my team here as well. Well, as Jim said, during the time I've been governor, 3 years now, I think it's $775 million that we put in either grants or loans for sewage treatment plant upgrades. And the effect of those investments, when they are fully implemented, I have it here, will be to reduce by about 7 million pounds a year nitrogen pollution entering the Virginia waters, our streams and watersheds. So that's a public investment that we've all been part of that's going to do great work. In fact, with those investments, we're going to be able to meet our point source obligations under Chesapeake Bay agreements by 2010. But we're not going to be able to meet all of our obligations to clean up the Chesapeake Bay because we and all the states in the Chesapeake Bay watershed have been late to the game in regulating non-point source pollutants, primarily agricultural runoff, but also runoff from parking lots and development. The sprawl makes our problems worse. And so we've worked pretty hard to try to, after having come up with resources for point source pollution, we're working pretty hard now to tackle the non-point source problem. Last year, working together with the legislature in a bipartisan way, we were able to put $20 million into the budget to work with farmers on best management practices. This was something that the environmental groups and agricultural groups together said, hey, we need some support. If the state can put money in and match what farmers do to plant stream buffers, to use winter cover crops that will reduce erosion of topsoil and other improper toxins into the water sources, then we'll be able to keep the rivers and bay cleaner. And so we got $20 million last year. I have put into this year's budget another $20 million, and it was tough because I am cutting virtually everything in state government and an awful lot of our support line items to local government because we're in the worst recession since World War II. But you can't start a program like matching funds with farmers so that they can do good projects for the environment and then stop it midstream because then many of them won't have the ability to carry it forward on their own. So we put $20 million into the budget. And I know of the various things that you're here to talk about today, that may be the most important because, again, in a time where an awful lot has to be cut, and people are looking that they don't like my cuts and they don't want to do them, then they have to do other cuts. A $20 million added, chunk to even a very important priority could be attractive to some who are thinking about cutting. But this is just too important. Agriculture is too important. It's Virginia's #1 industry. Ag and forestry, $79 billion a year. And ag and forestry depend upon a good environment, and these projects that we're working on in tandem with agriculture have to be protected. And then our waters are too important. My in-laws live down in Lancaster County, right on a stream, Moran Creek, which runs off the Wicomico River. And, I'm sorry, not the Wicomico. Which one? Coratoman. Yeah, Coratoman. That's how I was getting mixed up, getting my rivers mixed up. But every Virginia has a stream, a river, or a place on the bay or on the ocean that they love, and we've got to keep our waters clean. I give Preston Bryant a lot of applause in this area because he and Jeff Corbin and Nikki Rovner with the Secretary of Natural Resources are doing great work in these areas. But we've got to do more. And so this year what you'll see us do is we'll push for the $20 million. We'll push for some other important initiatives. We have a great regulatory initiative going in management of stormwater that will help us with non-point runoff. We've got another regulatory initiative going to preserve the exemplary waters off the eastern shore of Virginia that are still pristine as they were nearly when John Smith explored them in 1610. And we are pushing forward very dramatically on our priority to preserve 400,000 acres of open space. If you preserve open space, you do an awful lot to help water quality as well as air quality and preserving the natural beauty of Virginia. But this is about clean water. I've been thrilled to be a partner with CBF and the other organizations that are here, and I'm going to continue to be Jim. And you're right. A year from now, I won't be governor, but I'll come back to rallies because I'll be out there holding a sign and doing what I can to help us continue to do all we can to protect this great natural resource. Thank you for your involvement and engagement, and go up and tell these legislators how important that $20 million is. Thank you.